A very, very good morning to Brazil. Good evening to India. Good day to all viewers, those who are going to watch this program, which is quality education under 17 sustainable goals of United Nations. We have chosen this topic especially to follow the guidelines and keeping United Nations in center place. As we all know, United Nations is an organization which connects this globe together. And we all belong from educational fraternity. So it's our sole duty to take this journey forward. We have speakers on the screen, those who are going to share their knowledge. But before we go, Global Edu-Leader Forum is a journey of transformation, which connect educators from all over the world. They come on the screen forum and they share their experience. Personally, I believe alone we can do little, together we can do a lot. Why education is important? Because this is a cause of social economic mobility. Without education, without good quality education, it is like most unbelievable task for this whole world. We are getting connected to each other through technology, through knowledge of some basic education. Beatrice is sitting in Brazil. I am sitting in India. My other speakers are sitting in other part of India. But our thoughts, our mindset somehow is a common, which connects us. So today topic in context of quality education, I would love to start from Dr. Lewis. United Nations says inclusive education, quality education for all. Inclusive education, education which helps to each layer of community, not rich and poor, not on the basis of any religion, not in basis of any caste, not in basis of any country. Basic aim of a quality education to become a good human being who can feel humanity, who can expect contribution towards a global connect for happiness, for welfare of the society, and for harmony around the globe. So first speaker, Dr. Lewis, most welcome on the forum, and over to you, your views for next 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. S.K. Singh, for the kind invitation to be here. I would like also to thank Professor Beatriz Bisotto from Brazil. I would like to, of course, say hello to all my colleagues here, my dear colleagues and participants in this session. And I would like to share some ideas about this very topic that Mr. S.K. Singh has already highlighted. Because dear colleagues and dear friends, excuse me, can I share a presentation?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So, my dear colleagues and my dear friends, we are now dealing with a worldwide challenge, as Mr. Singh has said. because we are now dealing with sustainability development goals, UN and UNESCO goals, guidelines, and main objectives for our common future. And as Mr. Singh has said, we are all connected in this great effort and in this great endeavor. So quality education is the most important challenge that we have today, so that we can go ahead and, as the UN and the UNESCO often state, to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. As Mr. S.K. Singh said, we're not talking about countries, we're not talking about communities, we're not talking about regions, we're not talking about religions, we're not talking about differences. We are talking about what connects us all, and education connects us all. So our main focus is about all these challenges that I'm sharing with you now. Of course, we do not have time to go ahead with all these challenges, but the most important thing that we must bear in mind is that this is an effort that must bring together all countries with common guidelines, especially with common frameworks to approach all these domains and all these barriers, because we are facing a lot of barriers today. And we must understand that these barriers cannot be mistood or misleading us into a different opportunity or a different path that is bringing a better future for our students. So we have a lot of challenges ahead of us. And SDG 4 quality education is absolutely vital for us all, because we have a lot of data from the UN and from the UNESCO that we can study, and we can understand that there is a lot of work waiting for us. And as the COVID-19 pandemic showed us, we must truly be connected and work together to go ahead and have the 2030 agenda as our main priority: education for all. Education for all, and this is something that we do not have today. So this is our priority. Remote learning remains out of reach for at least 500 million students. So this cannot be sustained. This cannot be postponed. We must act, and we must act now. Of course, we have a lot of studies released by the UN, and I'm sharing some numbers and facts that are very challenging. Let us take a look, for instance, that an estimated 5% of out-of-school children of primary school age live in conflict-afflicted areas. So this means that education is connected with peace, is connected with problem-solving areas in social domains, in economic domains. So everything is connected. So governments must work together to go ahead with prioritizing education first, and then try to understand that we're not talking about our present, we are talking about our future. And our future belongs to our children. Our future belongs to our students. And data released by UNESCO show that at least 750 million young people and adults still do not know how to read and write. This cannot stay as it is. This has to change. And these are some of the most important challenges and goals that must unite all countries, that must unite all our efforts, that must connect us all with this major priority that is education. So in 5 minutes, I would like to state that I absolutely agree with Mr. S.K. Singh. Education is our focus. Education is our energy. Education is our priority to go ahead and have a better future for all, for each and one of our countries, but most important, to go ahead with a major reform to bring education for all, to bring knowledge and skills for all, regarding of countries, regarding of differences. We have to be united by what is most important, and that is our future. Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing, Dr. Luis. In fact, this was my expectation. You have taken the exact point which is being mentioned in United Nations or UNESCO. We all have to come forward. We all have to think about 750 million young children of this universe. This is the data. As it was mentioned in South Africa, it is approx 64%. Now the challenge is how we take it forward. What is our role? How we can make people aware, or what is the responsibility of educated people? I would love to take here Professor Paula. What is your take on this? How we take this journey forward? How we contribute? How we reach to the last needy person in the world? Since this is a global talk, we are sitting at different place. We may have a different type of challenges, but where to start, how to start, especially we are talking about the children, those who are completely out from primary education. Over to you and welcome to you.
Uh, well, hello, good morning. It's a great pleasure for me to be here. I wanted to share a video with you, but I think it's going to take more than 5 minutes. So maybe I'm just going to share the video in the group that you can see it. You know that I think that the best way to improve is to be realistic and to be critical about our role and about education. So, you know that academics and teachers will love taking training courses and learning about ethics and methodology and strategies and these kind of things. Because this is what we are. We are teachers and we want to learn more ways and different ways of teaching our students. But I think that even though we are doing that and we are improving, we are still failing. Schools and educational systems all around the world are still failing students. We are not listening to our students many times. We are not listening to their needs, to their interests, to their motivations. Teachers have problems in adapting sometimes. You know that we are teaching Generation Z. We have a great talent as teachers. We belong to different generations, to different points of views, we learned in a different way. But we are teachers from this generation and we have to adapt to what they need from us. So this is something that we have to do, and I think that schools and educational systems all around the world are failing students because they are not providing um, everybody. We are talking about quality education, but we are not thinking about everybody. These pandemic times gave us the information and the experience that show us that there are many students around the world that do not have the possibility of achieving education. So we have the situations of students that don't have technological devices, that don't have internet service, that have no technological devices or have one mobile phone or one computer for five in a family. So I think that these pandemic times should make us reformulate what we are doing with our education. Because in my case, you know, I'm from Argentina. In Argentina, we have free education, free primary education, free secondary education, free university. So you can become a doctor, an engineer, an architecture, and you don't have to pay for that. But still, there are many children that are not studying. That's for many reasons. We are failing. We are failing in what? In catching our students' attention, and we have more problems. You know that education is not an isolated topic. We are in the middle of a context, and in my case, in our case, we have many children or teenagers that they do not study. Maybe because some of them, because they are not motivated to do that, because they have been born in families where they haven't studied, so they are not motivated to do that. Many of them, because they are so poor that they need to work in order to support their families, so even though they have the opportunity of having a free education, they cannot take it. So I think that as teachers, we don't have to forget about these students. Sometimes we forget about students that have different abilities, okay, that have different ways of learnings, that have certain I don't know if how I call this, but different abilities to learn. So they need us to be prepared for that. We cannot, for example, we say, okay, our school is inclusive because we accept children with different abilities, but sometimes teachers are not ready to do that. So we are just having these, these publicity. We have inclusive schools. Everybody's welcome in our school, but okay, but are teachers ready to give them what they really need? So we are failing our students in many aspects. And these aspects has nothing to do with TICs, technologies, and methodologies. You see, has to do with humanity. So I think that I'm going to share in the group for you to take a look at this video. That is a trial to schools.
Great.
And this what? It's like being critic, you see? Being critical whenever we are talking about education. Because sometimes we love talk. We're teachers and we love talking about teaching, you see? So we get like lost in these methodologies, things, and we're forgetting like lots of people in this process. So as teachers, we are responsible of talking of these topics in meetings with other colleagues, in other situations. So we have to show what's the real situation and not just talking about the idea. Because if we want everybody to have the same opportunities, we have to think of the ones that don't have the same opportunities. So if we want to be to share equality in education, we don't have to forget the ones that don't have the same opportunities.
Great.
As these ideal situations that we.
If I can take Professor Paula from you, you talk about the lack of motivation. They need to be motivated. At the same time, your second point is focused to the teachers, those who have humanity rather than pedagogy, rather than technology, rather than methodology. They must focus more on humanity. This is 2-3 very important point. It has been rightly said, teachers are born, they are not made. Teaching is a profession which is reflection of your love, which is reflection of connecting people, which is reflection of spreading knowledge rather than talking about some textbook contest. Taking it forward, I would love to reach Dr. Andrea from Cristina from Brazil. My question to you, what teacher, a teacher who is in the role of motivating teaching, how teacher role can be important for motivating students and how we can take this journey forward?
Okay. Thank you for inviting me to stay here, especially for Beatriz Bisotto. Thank you. Well, I would like to hear to you and the other colleagues because I feel we are in the same symphony about education. For me, what is important in quality education? Uh, Quality education is different for family, different for society, different for students, different for teachers. If you think, ask for families, what do you want a quality education? Probably they said, I want a good job for my children. I have money for my children. I have a career for my children. If you ask a government about good education, probably you will see, I want good workers for my country. If you ask for teachers, I want they learn my specialty, math, Portuguese, language, science. But never we think about how people learn. What is important to learn? And you learn not only your brain, you learn your body, you're learning about ethical things, you learn about social things. You need to learn about experience in life. And this is a part of the education because sometimes I think that the students go there only with your brain and the other aspects of your life. And we can see too, when I start, the study starts to learn in school, there are like a little boxes. We learn math after 50 minutes, stop and learn science, 50 minutes, start, uh, finish, sorry, ring the bell, ring. The student needs to study other matter, other things, physical education, for example. All the time they study, the students uh, begin the class and in 15 minutes stop, don't have focus, don't have integration, don't have flow in the knowledge, don't have anything. After, when the students arrive in the university, the teachers ask, wow, you don't have opinion about everything? You have feelings about society? How the students do that? If all the school, it's boxes. All the schools is only the brain, use only the brain. All the schools don't have integration, the society, feelings, behavior. It's not possible to progress, have a progress in this case. Well, our brain assimilate and feeling and feel and learn with how emotional intelligence, rational intelligence. It's important to say this together, and the people look at the life, the community, and education in the integrated way. It's my
Wonderful,
conclusion.
wonderful, wonderful, great. Uh, I think very well defined: education for job, education for family, education for need, and education not for brain, education for your heart, mind, and soul. This is somehow lacking. I think Dr. Dev Brat, I hope you are a right person
Yes,
to
yes, yes.
conclude everything, starting from the need, starting from the education for their job, starting from the education for humanity. If 3-4 points we
Yes.
have to bring it together, and it was added, it was expected in the guidelines of United Nations. So welcome to you and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. S.K. Singh. Basically, before we go for this step-by-step discussions, I think first we have to give a small focus on the basics educations, then quality educations, then we can move the technology educations, then it is offline or online, and then skill development. Basically, last 3 to 4 years, we have one NGO, and we are trying to give some online support in Kenya environment. Basically, we are not giving that any syllabus oriented educations, but we are giving the skill oriented education last 3-4 years. What we observe that basics needs, if we can provide through the education policy, obviously you can be spent better way, and encouragement can be possible from some educated persons, which can be provide a better roadmap in the terms of basics needs. Very simple thing. Last 2 years, we are badly affected in the COVID-19 pandemic situations. In that cases, that basics needs is that medical strength, immunity growth, and be clean. But the question is that, is it possible to rural area basics educations, and then we can move to the quality education purpose. Then we can move in the process of the quality educations. If we know that basics educations can be changed their mentality, obviously it's a huge achievement for an educator that quality education can be possible in the mode of basics education process. Second thing is technology. We know that few first world country, they have in number of technology to sending the educations in all over places. Maybe it is rural environment, online process, offline process, all the things. But the question is, how many percentage are adaptability? What we observe last 2 years, we are converting, we are trying to convert the Indian educations to the offline to online. But how many percentage we get achievement? 50%, 60%. But the question is, more than 30% students, if we are not educated, how the nations can grow? So that process, what we change the CPU policy, that already government of India upcoming launching, they are planning to launch that new education policy, that NEP, which can give the basics education's techniques, basics education's policy, may not be who are enter in any organizations, maybe who are not take admissions in a school, colleges, but they can be educated by the basics need of education process. Maybe it is called certification courses, maybe it is called that only skill development process. Very common thing that few of my environment, that where I am living now, within 1 hour distance, that village area, more than 15% students in the age of 30-35 age, they don't have the 10th standard knowledge because of the poverty, because of the lack of that knowledge. But they have smartphone, they have that all the vehicles, they have that in number of technology, their addictions, but they don't have the basics educations. So what we observe, we are collecting that data, we are giving some awareness programs. What is the basics need of educations? It's not that degree, it's not that certificate, but if we provide the basics knowledge, obviously their environment can be changed. What we started there, we started 2 agriculture educations. We sent them that how to convert that your non-agricultural field converted as agriculture level. It's not in the syllabus, but we gave them the practical knowledge how to change their environment. And 2 villages, 11 students, that 11 people, they converted that 2 village environment, and now there something economical growth can be linked in this particular structure. Another one small examples that we know that that Sweden and Norway, they have 70% of vehicle converted as a bicycle. if you want to purchase the bike in that particular country, it's not easy to available. But if you purchase the bicycle, everybody have the bicycle, because they are directly linked to the bike to the bicycle process as their health and the pollution process. But one drawbacks is there. Their maximum one bicycle repairman, that how the people can repair if it is small damage, people cannot repair. They are purchasing a new bicycle. So what we did the last 1 year, that we are connecting the Facebook to college students. For their extra income, we converted them that please try to spend 1 hour to repair the bicycle process. And now that 2 students, they have 11 shops and 31 employment. So that's techniques they launch in the Norway, that as a student's mentality, that the basics educations, they converted as economical techniques to the turnover some amount of money in between the student study time to the normal life. If you convert that basics needs, basic educations of all the economical and non-economical environment, obviously the quality educations can be improved with the base of basics educations.
Perfect.
That's
Dr.
from my side.
I think it was a really good connect from education of basic education. As you said, if you look into certification, diploma, degree, PG and doctorate, before that, this is the new change in Indian education policy. A person should not have mandatory if you 3 years degree course, then 2 years PG course. Of course, cooking, household work, brooming, there is no course. Taking bath, ironing clothes, these all the work which we learn by experience. Same thing, it was rightly said by you, handling of Android mobile phone, it is a customer use, matter of interest. Without having knowledge also, people are operating all Android mobile phone. A very good example of the socio-economic connect. As you said, no one was thinking about the repair of the bicycle. There is 2 things. One is a earning and second is a engaging brain. Because whole world is facing one of biggest problem, engaging brain into right direction. You have money, you have wealth, everything, but you do not have peace of mind within you. Renata is also a teacher who is on the screen. Am I audible to you, Renata? So my
yes, it's on.
My question to you as a teacher, Renata, while dealing to the student, what kind of suggestion or what kind of problem you face as a teacher? They want to learn for life, they want to learn for the future challenges, or they want to learn for the book knowledge?
Mr. SK, this is a very serious problem, and in Brazil, I can tell you that sometimes it's very difficult to teach, mainly in private schools, I have to tell you, because I will need to say the truth, all right? Because many parents think that because they pay something for their children, you need to educate, you need to raise their children. And this is not the role of the teacher. So our mission become twice difficult here, because you have to raise, you have to educate, you have to teach the content. So everything together is very difficult for me as a teacher, an English teacher. But there are a few students who give a big value to the communication, a big value to learn something that the parents could pass them a strong value, a strong principle of studying, having a good life, to do something that you want, to win money, to earn money. So it's not balanced, I can say, okay? But it's a very different culture. It's a very different.
I'm really happy to hear your comment, reason behind. Once we know the challenges we have to overcome, at least we start thinking of. If I take from the speaker first, Dr. Lewis, your closing comment, this all the problem which we have discussed, what we can do as a global Edu-Leader forum, you honorable speakers, let's take a small role. In India, there was a campaign called Each One and Teach One. How we can motivate, how we can take a small initiative wherever you are sitting of your teachers. It was rightly mentioned by Professor Paula, there is a, I think, huge demand of a quality teacher who wants to teach with the passion. They are taking it as a just profession. I'm coming to the job, I'm doing my job, you learn or not, I did my job and I'll go home. So this is one of the biggest challenge which I want to take an endorsement from our side. Single line closing statement, what we can do. We are motivating people. This webinar is one of example. We are connected more than 29 country. People are watching it, listening again and again. Whatever the thought we are sharing, this will be forever remain. We go out of this world also, these thoughts and these talks remain there. And credit goes to, of course, no other than Beatrice and Renata. They are the strong pillar. My heartfelt gratitude, Renata, once again, congratulations to become president for Brazil, and congratulations to Beatrice, become a global coordinator for this kind of project. So Dr. Lewis, your closing comment. At our end, what we can do, what we should do.
It's a very difficult and complex question. Let me try and give a straightforward and very simple answer. Being a teacher, it's not just having a profession. Yesterday, in another session, another conference, I said that being a teacher is like having a mission. It's not just a work that we have. We don't begin at 9 o'clock and our work ends at 5 p.m. No, sometimes 24 hours a day are not enough for our tasks, but we do all this with our hearts, not just with our minds, because a teacher is someone that can inspire their students. A teacher is someone that can help the community where the school is. A teacher is someone that can act by example, that can act by his words, by his deeds. And a teacher, of course, must be supported by his colleagues, must be supported by his school, by his university, by his government. So governments must understand once and for all that if we have motivated teachers, if we have teachers with resources, with technological resources, with access to internet, as was said before by Paula, we can go ahead and we can deliver quality education. So this is why education must be the #1 priority for all our countries. And then each one of us with heart and mind can truly go ahead and give our students everything that we give every day. That is the best of us.
I think
Thank you.
You have made me happy, because tagline for Global Edu-Leader Forum is connecting head to heart. From this to this, if you are not connected, you are not going to give anything worth to any individual in this world. Professor Paula, very interesting motivation. How we can motivate teachers? Single line closing comment.
Well, I think that motivation, in order to have, as Luis was saying, I think that in order to have motivated teachers, we must have motivated head teachers. So if the head of schools are truly motivated and have their clear in mind which are the objectives and are determined to be involved in the teaching and learning process, they would show a way, or they will find a way to motivate teachers, and teachers, motivated teachers with motivate students. So we need to work from the very top of the pyramid and then start working with the rest. And you also need to be, I think that the key for this is to be involved, to get involved with the teaching and learning process, and to be conscious that the work that we are doing as teachers, even though we are a direct, sometimes we are so lost with papers and forms, and we have to be in touch with the teaching and learning process, and not to forget that we are students. So whenever you are, no matter in which part of the pyramid we are, that I think that the pyramid wouldn't exist anymore, because we should work as a team, because we have different responsibilities, just said, but we are in the same process. So I would say that we should be in the same level, everybody, thinking of the teaching and learning process, making our students be motivated and being in charge of their learning. And if we can do that, that would make schools achieve any aim we want. So for me, motivation is the key for everything. So if we are not motivated in any position, we cannot show that this is meaningful and that is worth doing, you see?
Wonderful. What I can take from her, motivation should come from top, head of institutions, edu leaders like us. We are doing something on the screen. They have to come down towards the team, and they can be any place of the pyramid is the matter of motivation. Very well taken. Dr. Andrea, your closing comment. How teacher can be more happy educator. Teachers are doing job. How a teacher can be a happy motivator. What we can do, what we can advise.
I think it's the teacher needs to think about meaning and purpose in life. Why I do that? For me, for the others, for the community. Now in the health society, not health society, don't have meaning and purpose. The teacher lost the meaning and purpose. Why I do this as education? Why I teach? I don't know. If students do what I want to do, okay. If I pay in the end of the month, okay. I have some motivation, I think, but what my purpose in life? Not only teach, but a human being. What I do in my life to motivate other people's, my family, my friends, my colleagues, and my students too. Not only like a teacher, but like a human being. I think it's important to think what means in purpose in life.
Dr. Andrea, I'm extremely happy. The height of webinar is reaching high because everyone is binded with the pinpointed target, purpose of life. Our teacher training institutes all over world become factory. They need to be changed. Yeah. We are producing factory workers rather than teachers. About the teachers, it has been rightly said in Sanskrit and Hindi, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo. God, above the God, who is that? Teacher. In Hindi, it has been said, Guru Govindo Khade Kako Lago Pai. Means the Guru is the topmost. He is greater than Allah. He is greater than Jesus. He is greater than Krishna. He is greater than Rama. Means teacher is the above God. This is the methodology which we follow. Devrat, Only one point which I want technically, I was amazed to see your example of socio-economic. In the world context, not in Indian context, what kind of advice you would like to give for quality teachers training? I'm not talking about the student, we have talked about a lot. What kind of change is required?
Basically, most of the country they follow 8 hours working hours. So what we are already proposed few country education policy that minimum 1 hour of every education they should try to give educated in their environment people. They have to change. If I clean my room, I can clean my family, I can clean my house, I can clean my society. So that techniques we are give these motivations already, that 11 organizations they accept our proposals, that not 8 hours working as a organizations, they should work for 7 hours, 1 hours. Every faculty try to clean, try to share their basics educations nearby, maybe by roadside, maybe how they are going to the college from house to the organizations, that 1 hour journey, half an hour journey, that durations, how you can educate the people. Maybe very common thing that how you are giving the your next empty seat to the age people, how you are giving the taking the one helping hand for a weightage bag from the old persons. Are you asking a persons that why you are traveling in this time, in this age? Enough. If you ask that questions to the persons, obviously that basics educations can be growth a positive way.
Wonderful, wonderful, great. Means leading by example, you have to do first and then demonstrate. Otherwise, things become philosophy only. I was conducting a teacher training program, and once I asked to the teachers, what is the size of your screen of your mobile? I asked, what is your room size? Where are you living? I asked, what is your bedside which we are having? What is the radius of your cup and plate which coffee you are taking? They were blank for some time. Correct. Why not? We are teaching just mathematics in the classroom as a radius, rectangle, and square. Why not the practical object which is available? What is size of your screen? What is the size of your table calendar? What is the size of your laptop? What is the size of your notebook? I think this can be better geometry than a geometry which is being taught in the classroom. 8-minute extra on the line of this very warm and healthy conversation. I can see the face of Beatrice today. She's feeling extremely happy. Why? Because I used to have a time of 40 minutes and dot, sometime screen goes off. So one day she told, what is this, Mr. Singh? Why I'm sharing this? This is very, very embarrassing when the screen goes off. But I had another purpose. I have to be time bound. We talk 5 minutes, but we talk from heart. We will not talk from book. And we close the program in 35 minutes and then next 5 minutes closing. Today, the level of conversation which was coming from heart and experience has raised the standard of this episode, which we are doing under guidelines of United Nations. Dr. Lewis, I'm really extremely thankful from the bottom of my heart. Personalities like you can start the change which I can make. I'm thankful, Professor Paula, Dr. Andrea, and Dr. Deobrat, Madam Maria, along with Renata, who is behind the show as practical teacher. Renata, I'm extremely happy to take your real experience. It is very difficult to teach children in the classroom situation because their parents' expectations are entirely different. Now, this is the time for global coordinator Beatrice for vote of thanks. Honestly speaking, I'm not in mood of ending this webinar, but I know you all have some other assignments. We are time bound situation. We have 24 hours in life. So over to you, Beatrice. And once again, congratulations to become a global coordinator for Global Edu-Leaders Forum. Over to you.
All right. At first, I would like to thank to Dr. Andrea, all the speakers, Professor Paola, Dr. Luis Miguel, Dr. Deva Brata, for sharing your experiences with Mastery. The Global Edu-Leaders Forum, in particular, the founder and chairman, SK Singh, for this new approach to GEL programs, with an emphasis on the goals of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. I believe that the goals chosen to be addressed are the paramount importance, as well as this one today. The goal 4, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. One of the goals is by 2030 to ensure that all children have access to quality early childhood development, care, and preschool education, so that they are ready for primary education. Here, I see that where we form our future young people with ethical and more principles and apt for the job market. This is not done, right? So this is my message for today. I would like to thank everybody for being here. Thanks for the promotion, Mr. SK. And we are going to work hard to make GEL as big as it is today, okay?
Thank you, Beatrice. Once again, my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to all the speakers. Dr. Devbrat, I can take from you not 1 hour, at least 1 minute to each member of Global Edu-Leader Forum now onwards. Clean your surrounding wherever you are before you start your work. Maybe keeping pencil at a right place, maybe keeping earphone at a right place. This may be a small initiative which I want each webinar we take from R and we spread it out. So I'll be releasing one poster. I'll be sharing to you. Send this poster to all people of the world, wherever your friends, your people. Spend 1 minute cleaning before you start your work. Same thing like do 1 minute meditation, close your eyes. Let's start practicing it. Honestly speaking, we have to come forward. We have spent our 50 minutes, and if we demonstrate for 1 minute, our students, our colleague, our friends, our family, our surrounding will recognize the change, and this all changes and talks are going to be documented. And after 6 months of the project, any initiative, anything, Dr. Luis, Dr. Paula, Dr. Devbrat, any innovative things comes to mind in a limited time experience, let's spread it all over the world. We are not waiting for any individual. Invite your friends, invite like-minded people like you. Why only 6 people get benefited? These 6 people can reach to the 6 million people. And this was the only thought in my mind, which was sleeping somewhere. During the pandemic, it came, and now it become a beautiful family. Proudly, I can say, Dr. Luis, presence of Dr. Paula, Dr. Maria, Dr. Andrea, Dr. Devbrat, and your friends, bring them together, let them get benefited. As I keep saying, alone we can do little, but together we can do so much. Journey of GEL is not more than happiness towards society, progress towards society, and more than that, a great humanity which can be experienced by heart only, not by mind. Mind has lots of knowledge, libraries, internet, everywhere you can. But happiness and peace can be found in your heart. So connecting heart to heart, head to heart, and to hand is the real objective of Global Edu-Leaders Forum. Thank you one and all. Hope to catch you in the next episode. From vibrant recommendation of yours. Special thanks to Beatrice and Renata, Madam Maria. Take this journey forward, and very soon I'm planning to visit Brazil and the neighboring country, because we have to travel and you all are invited in India. Me along with Dr. Devbrat will welcome you in the Delhi. So let's have an integration.
Sure, obviously.
Let's have some flavor of happiness towards life, because God knows one day we have to go. Our memories, our smile remain forever for the people. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Bye.